What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Humble and Bold. I'm your host, Zach Fobbs. So today I thought I'd talk to you guys about quitting and what are the pros and cons of quitting and sort of my struggle that's been happening with Humble and Bold so far. So I started this YouTube channel about a year and a half ago, and with the expectations that I was going to be providing a lot of information as far as men's style, grooming, and lifestyle in order to help the general community get back to the prime that I think it lost. Because a lot of times, in this times, we have basically became sheep in what is trending, and I think that we should get back in the originality of honing our own style, whatever that style may be, as well as perfecting the time where we are perfect gentlemen, especially around people around my age, we're starting to become men. Therefore, we need to know how to basically be that man, be a contributing part of this society that we're in today. So that's why I started this YouTube channel. I just wanted to put in my part, put in my mark on the community, and I had a lot of expectations, going into this. I wasn't expecting myself to have over a few 100,000 subscribers already, only being like a year and a half into this, or having like 10,000 views on per video. But I mean, it's not what I've expected at this point. I mean, realistically, I thought that I could at least be breaking upon 250, 300 subscribers at this point, being a year and a half into it, but I've only barely reached 115 before I started losing subscribers left and right, and gaining them and losing them left and right. And it honestly was very stressing, and as well as my Instagram page, I am struggling to get 500 followers on it, and it's something that I have constantly studied about. Is like, what am I doing wrong? How can I expand my content? How can I make it better for you guys in order to basically generate that community that I imagine myself leading? But it just ended up not happening, and you'll experience that in life. That's what a lot of people have told me. People that have taken me underneath their wing. You're gonna experience setbacks. You're gonna experience disappointments, but this in particular, the standstill in the community growth, it's been kind of discouraging, and honestly, it's given me time to really reevaluate about why I started this, and I felt like I got a little bit more into the community growth versus what my true goals was, and I was honestly disappointed in that fact and the numbers, but more importantly in myself, because I felt like I sort of lost touch in that, So, with that said, I have been contemplating whether or not Humble Bowl should end, and really I've been trying to think about the pros and cons of this. I've been talking to my amazing girlfriend about this. She has helped me almost from day one with Humble and Bold, and she has helped it grow so much. The quality of my Instagram posts have improved over 500% because of what she does for it, and what the advice she gives me for these YouTube channels have basically made it amazing to this point. And but still, I mean, it still didn't provide the execution that I was expecting. So I'm here today to basically give you my pros and cons about quitting, and in hopes that if you're contemplating about quitting something that you've been passionate about, whether it's a major that you've been working on for so long, or it's a short-term or a long-term goal that you've been working towards, and you've just been seeing no results for it. And honestly, before we start this, I think that if you just started this, and maybe 6 weeks down the line, 6 months down the line, you still haven't seen any results, and I know that's cutting close to my timetable and how I'm doing this, but if you honestly have barely given any time to give you any results that you want, I think you should just press on just a little bit more before you start contemplating moving on from it or keep going. But if you're feeling like me right now and whatever it is you're doing and you are contemplating quitting, here are my pros and cons of it, and I'm ultimately going to give you my decision about what I came to about a week ago prior to filming this video about what direction I'm going to be taking Humble and Bold. So starting with the pros, just right off the bat, quitting, I've given up maybe 2 major career paths in my life. When I was doing middle school, high school, I thought I was going to be a writer. I love being in English class. I love I fell in love with writing during at my freshman year creative writing class, and I was writing short stories. I ended up writing a book. I think it was along the lines of something like more Percy Jackson inspired, but I was on fire for that for a little while, but I eventually gave it up. I really didn't have the time or dedication that I thought I would for it, so I eventually gave that up. And a pro from that is starting over. Starting over is a blissful thing because as one door opens, God allows you to have another one open for you, and that door can lead to anything that you want or you have a passion for in life. And with me giving up writing, it opened the door for acting, and that I also gave up, but I believe that I was led down that path because it helped me sort of break out of my shell. Because with the writing, I knew how to basically find my voice. I knew how to properly execute it and have that sort of dialect that was more ideal for me. But with acting and performing, it kind of helped me kind of break that shell of being in front of people, making connections, building relationships with and chemistry with random people just for a short period of time so that I could produce something great. And I love that feeling. I love that entertaining and working with other people in different communities feeling. And I thought that's the career path I wanted to go down. But again, it like I said earlier, it took a lot of toll in me mentally, spiritually, and physically, and I just ultimately gave that up. So starting over, it's a blissful thing, and another pro from it helps you with letting go. A lot of times when we start these passions or career paths, it's because of a certain decision in life or a certain thing that has been kind of on our backs for a little while, and it was a good outlet for it. But once we fulfill that need, we don't feel that negativity that we were trying to cope with. It's a good feeling to just let it go, let it all go. And not to mention, if you do run into some complications like I did with acting, and it just got to a point where it started affecting my life on the daily, and I decided just to let all that go, it was such a stress relief. Like it was like a renewal of myself. I just had a lot more time. I was more focused. I wasn't as angry as much, and it really helped me get back to where Zach needed to be with himself, with his family, with his friends, his life, basically, and what direction it was going in. So that's really the pros that I had with giving up. And with Humble and Bold, giving that up, it would relieve a lot of stress. It would free up so much of my time because I work during the day, but at night I'm on Humble and Bold like 24, during the night hours, and even early morning times. The times that I film or do photo shoots. So, and that's really the only pro that I can really think of when it comes to giving up, especially something that I've been dedicated and passionate about for quite some time now. But let's move on to the cons. I don't know about the rest of you, but I do not like my time wasted. Now, if it's for something good, for the betterment of me and my life, then I don't consider it, wasted time. But at the same time, is think you have to think like, what could have you been doing better for yourself if you just given it up, like, a long time ago, But I know that sort of sounds like a pro a little bit, but is more of a con because that time was wasted because you're giving up on something that you've been on fire for, and now just like all of that was just all that time, that dedication was just for nothing, and that's sort of another con. All that effort that you put into it was just for nothing in the end. And again, it could be passed as a pro because it just, like I said, it was for the betterment of you. You were just using it as an outlet for something that you were trying to let go of, or if it's fulfilled its purpose. But at the same time, that effort could have been put into something else, but it was put into that. And you've been passionate about it. You put so much time, you put so much work, time, and sweat, blood, and tears into it, and it's not something that you want to take for granted. And honestly, with Humble and Bold, when this is something that I didn't have to have my foot in the door for. I didn't have to know someone to do it. I didn't know how, I didn't necessarily need to know how to do it, how to become a YouTuber, how to become an influencer, how to become a style model, where you want to call it, for Instagram. I didn't need to learn how to do it. I just needed to just start and then get better at it. And I've to this point where it's like Humble and Bold is my baby. It's something that I built from the ground up, and it's built a small community, yes, but it's my community. Something that God has appointed to myself to lead, and I honestly don't feel like I needed to give that up so easily, just over some disappointments over the last year and a half. And not only that, a lot of accountability will be lost, which is another con. You hype a lot of people up about this. I've certainly hyped a lot of people up about Humble and Bold, and they think it's a great idea. I can't imagine facing them when I tell them, yeah, Humble and Bold is not really it's not gonna be a thing anymore. They're gonna be like, what happened? You were doing so good, and you just kind of look at yourself like, really? I was doing good, but it just, when you tell people about your dreams, your passions, you do in that sense hold yourself accountable through them, because they're gonna be checking up on you, like, hey, how's Humble and Bold doing? I saw your latest video. I saw your photos. They look really, really good. You keep up the good work. Keep up your efforts. And if you just give that up so easily, the accountability with them is going to be lost, because when you come to them again, hey, I have another great genius idea, Humble and Bold 2.0, and they're going to be like, yeah, right, dude. You easily gave that up the first time around. How long is it going to take for you to give this up, And the last con that I have, and something that I've been really hitting myself hard the most about, is this disappointment, not in what the Humble and Bold has given me, but what I've given to Humble and Bold, in this responsibility that I believe God has put me in charge of. I honestly would feel disappointed in myself if I just give this up, and I would feel like that is yet another thing that I'm quitting on, and it would really bring down my view of my value, my work ethic in this general life, and it's not something I want to go through again for a third or fourth time. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would feel ultimately guilty about giving this up, because for one, it's something that not just I've been putting too much time into, but my girlfriend, who has helped me so much with this, she's put so much time and effort into this. Her time would be basically wasted. Her efforts would be wasted. And I feel like, just getting on a little bit more of a spiritual side, I feel like I let God down, because this is something that He's appointed towards me, and He put me in charge of, and He gave me this passion, this dream, this goal to help this community out. And I feel like I would let Him down, and ultimately all the glory goes to Him, and I don't I don't want something for him to just look down on and be disappointed in. So those are the bit of the cons. And so with that said, if you haven't really felt how I've been feeling about this, but I'm not gonna give this up. I'm not going to let a few disappointments bring me down. Now, with disappointments, there comes lessons with that. You know, you need to learn from your mistakes, learn from the things that you think that you should have achieved by now, but you didn't. It's time for this. For this time you need to make some turnarounds. You know, recalibrate. You know what your true mission was. Like for me, example, it's not about the views. It's not about the watch time. It's not about the subscriber count. It's about make sure that my message is getting out there so that the community can know what to do, how to be a gentleman, how to dress in whatever style they choose, the best version of that. And that needs to remain and continue to be my number one goal. Then the rest will just take care of itself, you know? And another thing you need to basically do a turnaround is make some changes. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the different results, then that's the true definition of insanity. And so just make some changes, you know, some small changes or even some dramatic changes, you know. For example, actually, I'll say this for towards the end, but another thing for a turnaround and before you really get started on everything, take pride in what achievements you have, you know, gotten at this point. You know, because a lot of the huge YouTubers that we see, they didn't become overnight sensations, or at least most of them didn't. And it took some time, some years. Like Alpha M, I think it took him about maybe 3 to 4 years before he even reached 1 million subscribers, and he started out basically on the same level as I did. Basically, my point is nothing happens overnight, and whatever it is that you're trying to achieve takes time. And that's something that I will want a lot of you guys who are thinking about starting something, whether it's a YouTube channel or a blogging or whatever it is you guys are passionate about. Nothing happens overnight unless it's just by a stroke of luck. And honestly, my encouragement to you guys is just to keep going. Keep consistently posting, blogging, vlogging, whatever it is you guys are doing. Keep at it. Something eventually will happen where your rise will happen. It's going to take some time. But the point I was trying to make earlier, make sure that you're taking pride in what you have accomplished so far. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of feedback from this. It's helped me almost kind of put like my foot, I won't say my foot, more like my finger in the door of, you know, some big time grooming style lifestyle companies that, you know, I've followed a lot on Instagram or YouTube. And it's kind of helped me kind of like let them know, hey, I'm here. And they've taken notice. A lot of them, like T. Shanley, they've seen a couple of my videos and they seem to have liked it. And I mean, honestly, it feels amazing. You know, making those small connections and everything. And, you know, as watching my content get better and better and better, the more I post, the more I work on it. It honestly is very fulfilling, and it feels like something I am building from the ground up. And it's, if you guys have not experienced that before, it's an amazing feeling. So take pride in what achievements that you have, you have earned yourself, you know, it, whether it be big or small, because it'll really help you see the value of your hard work and basically what could eventually come out of it. And going back to my earlier statement about making some changes, Humble and Bold is changing. I'm changing the ways I'm doing my videos. Hopefully you guys have noticed It's not gonna be so static and like so boring. I'm gonna try to spice it up, put in work on the details of it just a little bit more for you guys. I am moving to Indianapolis from Fort Worth, Texas, in about a month, and once I do that, I'll have some more time and room to really expand my content. You know, my girlfriend, we talk about, you know, doing some great photo shoots in downtown Indy a lot, and I can't wait for that actually to happen, and so I can give you guys some great content with that. Instagram TV just became a thing in the past week or so, and that's something I really want to take advantage of. I was thinking about doing like some lookbooks for it and stuff like that. I'm just giving you guys kind of a sneak peek of what's to come. And with that said, Humble and Bold, when I tell people about it, they don't know what it is right off the bat, and that's brought in some confusion. It's like, okay, why Humble and Bold for the name? And I already did a video about why I named the channel Humble and Bold, but I will eventually do another one when I give a deeper meaning as to what Humble and Bold really means to me. But just so that it can be a little bit more easier to know what this channel is about, I am changing the name of it, and I am changing it from Humble and Bold to HB Fashion. And so as of when this video gets posted, hopefully you guys, if you guys didn't notice, go ahead and look already. It already has changed. So it's now HB Fashion. So welcome guys to it. It's still the Humble and Bold community. I'm still gonna call it that, you know, 24/7, no matter what. And hopefully you guys will see the potential of what I'm trying to do and what others who are in the same boat as me are trying to do for this community, and help us grow it, you know, because it's really something worthwhile seeing, you know, seeing the changes in society for the better good, you know, but it's just a dream of mine. So with that said, just so I can stop rambling, welcome to the new HB Fashion, guys, where we give you tips and suggestions towards men's style, grooming, and lifestyle. And hopefully if you guys like this video and it's giving you some encouragement or some confirmation about whether or not you should quit on something or not, give us a like and go in the comment section and tell me some of your stories about quitting and what it is that you're struggling with, and hopefully we can start up a conversation. I can provide some more encouragement for you guys, but I always love hearing from you guys. So thank you so much for listening, guys, and tuning in. I cannot wait for what we're going to do with this community. It's going to be amazing. I am so excited to see what God has down the line for me. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next time.